Hey guys, once again, welcome back as we walk through my 10 rules on engaging in politics. And I just want to remind you guys, I've been honest with you. I'm working this out kind of with you. I'm not going to get it all right. I want to learn from you as well. And so if you have any feedback, anything that you'd like to add or question me on, then please do that. I've said before as well that I lean conservative, and I've got about at least a dozen reasons why. And if you ever want to sit down and chat and have a conversation about that, I'd love to do that. But I also made it clear that I did not vote for Trump. And there's a few reasons I did not. And I'd be happy to sit down with anyone and talk about that as well. I did not vote for Joe Biden. And if you have questions about that, I'm happy to talk over that with you. Nevertheless, I have been thinking for some time about how, as Christians, we have to engage our culture better. We have to engage one another with more love and more respect. And we spent some time in the book of James, and I want to go back there again today, where it says, be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to get angry. Now, you might just check yourself there, and, maybe some of you have an issue with anger, and somebody says something, you hear something on the news, and you automatically feel yourself turning red. Your blood begins to boil. You get emotionally wrapped up in what just happened. But what I want to talk to you about today is, and this is the principle, this is rule number 6, is be humble. Because right after James says, be slow to anger, he talks about how we have to receive the word of God in humility. Our anger, most of the time, does not achieve the righteousness of God. And so humility is really one of those umbrella things that can solve so many things in life. I was thinking about this. Do you know someone who's really genuinely humble? I mean, you've seen it up close and personal. Let me ask you, think about that person that you consider to be genuinely humble. Do you respect them? How do they act in a difficult situation? How do they respond in controversy? How do they deal with people who disagree with them? If you think about who that person is and that humble person, do they get angry quickly? Are they careful with their words? Do they speak the truth but in love? Man, if we can learn to be humble with one another and toward one another, that would solve so many issues that turn into conflict, disagreement, division, and headache and heartache, let's be honest. And so, what would it look like for you to strive to be more humble? I'll tell you what James says. He says that the Word of God helps us become humble. Because when we look in the mirror, when we look into the Word of God, man, if we didn't have the grace of God, we would be doomed. And so would that person who disagrees with you. So would that person that offends you. So would that person who thinks differently, believes differently, votes differently. See, if we can approach things, especially politics, with a humble heart, if we can put ourselves in the position of listening, of learning, of trying to see an issue from all the angles. Because here's the thing, and I've said this before, with a humble heart, we can recognize, I don't have all the information. And if I had the information that you had, I would probably think like you and agree with you. And so, whatever you can do, when you feel yourself starting to get wrapped up or anxious or angry or fearful, try to have a humble heart. Receive the Word of God in humility, James says. And it will make all the difference in your life. and how you experience life, how you experience the information that you get, how your relationships go, whether they go well or whether they go bad. See, let's look at it from a different angle. A proud person. A proud person always wants to be heard. A proud person always wants to get their point across. A proud person doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to listen. A proud person doesn't care about what other people think. A proud person doesn't care about how they might offend or hurt someone else. And so here's the truth. You and I both struggle with pride. We struggle with being just self-centered. It's human nature. And we've got to work against it if we're going to overcome it. So pray for humility. And when you're in the midst of a conversation that might be difficult, if you're in a relationship that is difficult, what would it look like for you to humble yourself in that situation, in that relationship? And so may the grace of God help you as you strive to become more like Christ, humble in heart. God bless you guys. I love you, and I'll see you next time.